All right, Friday, September 19th. So, let's get the fuck on out. Even though my windows aren't really clear, I'm just gonna have to work with it for right now. So, they possibly found Travis Decker's remains. That had me glued to the TV this morning. They might have found him finally. A lot of people speculated he was dead, which I did too. You know, most people don't know where to go and what to do when they're a prime suspect in a kill that they are highly looking for. You know what I mean? You know, most killers don't know what to do when it's a highly sought murder of some kind. So, but yeah, you know, they might have found him. Might have found his body this time. And they say it's remains, so he must have been, animals must have ate his body up or something like that, because I remember the Gabby Petito story. When I first heard about that one, but the parents aided him, I guess, I don't know. I heard the parents would not help at all or cooperate, and yeah, they found him dead, obviously, and animals ate him or something like that, alligator or some shit like that. I don't remember where the story was, where he was when he died, but I just remember vividly hearing that remains, that animals kind of ate his body up a little bit, but yeah, you know, like, it's crazy, you know. So, okay, I don't want it to get too hot. It's not that hot. Just keep it at 66. I started feeling that heat. I'm starting to slowly turn on the heater now, you know, because my car gets warm in the morning, or cold in the morning, you know, and it slowly heats up. It's kind of annoying because I don't even know how to turn on the heaters in the back seat. I don't know how to turn it on. As you can see, it's still not even clear. I really don't know how to do it, honestly. But it's more so just the outside, really. But anyway, yeah, I saw that this morning. They're still talking about the Tyler Robinson guy. You know, kid's an idiot, man. Dude's an idiot for doing that. But wants me to go straight this time. Alright, I'll go straight. Just don't take me up Canyon. I'm not fucking going up Canyon no more. It was like, oh, you'll make it there by 7:20. 7:27. That irritated the shit out of me when I did that last week. That irritated the living shit out of me. Yeah, I was like 5 minutes late. I was really irritated. But anyway, it's Friday. So yesterday, I'm gonna be real. I know yesterday's video, no one watched it, but besides that, I know I said I was gonna bite my tongue hardcore with Jeannie and all that stuff, but I'm guilty of this, bro. I mess with people when I'm really annoyed with them. I mess with people. I really I get in that mood where I start to fuck with people when I get really upset with them. Not to the point to where I'm arguing with them and picking a fight with them or whatever, or snapping at them, which I did snap at Jeannie yesterday. But, like, it's to the point to where now I'm just fucking with her, you know what I mean? And that's not good to have. That's not. So I got to slow down on it a bit. But Jeannie is such an easy target. Like, and that's sad, you know, because I don't like picking on people. Really, I don't. But But Jeannie, man, she's an ass, dude. That girl is such an ass, man, to work with, dude. She's such an ass to work with, dude. It's not even funny how much of an ass she is. Everybody in the group is sick of her. Even other groups she's working with are sick of her. Yeah, Jeannie is an ass to work with, man. That girl is hardcore not fun to work with. Like, normally, actually, no. Everybody I've had problems with in the past really didn't start trouble with me. Jeannie started trouble with me. Like, she genuinely did. Everyone else was more so minding their business. So, at the gym, I had issues with two guys. I had Kyle and I had Jesse. You guys remember? I don't even know if you ever watched those videos back when I was in the arcade and I would rant about working there all the time and all that stuff, you know. I worked with a guy named Kyle for about a month, and I got into it with that guy because he wouldn't shut the fuck up about there's not enough stuff, you know. I covered her ass back when Lorelai was a manager before she left, and we had a manager named Lorelai, or Lo, everybody called her Lo, and she pops up on my Facebook, but I'm not friending her. I don't really care for that girl too much. It's sad because we got along well at first, but then over time, I just did not speak to her. She didn't speak to me. She didn't say hi to me. She didn't. So, you know what? All right, deuces, you know. But I took it on a personal level back then. I was always upset about that. Now I'm not so upset about it. When people do that, it's like, okay, I'd rather have you not talk to me than we get into it with each other personally. So, but I had a guy named Kyle. And, man, that guy was, like, so serious about his job. He was, like, so serious about it. You know, we need this shit. We need that shit. I need everyone's phone number. I told him, you're not getting my phone number. That's what I told him. I'm like, you're not going to get my phone number and blow me up about the shit we need. He looked like the alien from Men in Black 2. And I kid you not. He looked dead on like the actor from Men in Black 2 who was the alien in the post office where he was throwing the mail in the slots. And Kay, Tommy Lee Jones, comes up and he pulls a cigarette out of his mouth. He's like, no smoking. You know what I mean? He looked dead on like that fucking alien with his eyes bulged out and the facial features and the nose and the hair. It looked dead on like him. But sadly, after that argument, he never came back. I never seen him again after that. He just quit. Which I felt bad because, you know, jobs need people like that, really. But, like, jobs don't need people to be so damn uptight about the job. You know what I mean? If people have their own ways of doing shit, you know, just work with what you have. You know, it's no use bitching and complaining about it because in reality, it doesn't fall on you. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that was a few years back. Yeah. There was Kyle, but he didn't really want to start trouble. He was just trying to, you know, it was because, you know, I guess for some it's irritating when there's no equipment to work with, you know what I mean? But in reality, it's just like, hey, that's less on your plate because, you know, it's not your fault. So it's just like, you know what? I may not have shit. I've told them multiple times to get it. If it doesn't fall through with cleaning something, that's on them. And then there was Jesse. Jesse didn't really start trouble either. He just slowly kind of graduated with having trouble with me. And to be fair, you know, I was kind of the one who started it with him because no offense to Aaron, no offense to all the people, or I mean, it's true, you know, when I say this, but it's not to point the fingers at everyone, but everyone kind of nudged me and Jesse to get into it with each other. Even Aaron. Aaron was always telling me what Jesse's been doing, and you know, the kids club people would tell me what he would say about us, and he was probably telling him what we were saying about him. And it's not fucking right if they did that, you know what I mean? That's not fucking cool, and that's not professional, you know what I mean? I would tell them, don't you tell him anything, you know? They didn't even need to tell us what he was saying, you know? I mean, it just would have avoided a lot of heat, but they just probably kept secretly telling him what we would say and tell us what he would say. And it's like, now that I look back on it, that really wasn't cool of the people who worked at the gym at the time. So they were kind of at fault more so than Jesse was. You know what I mean? Because I told Jesse the last time I talked to him, you're a good worker, dude. I didn't mean to make it bad for you. It was just, I was 2 years in and I was on another level. I wasn't paid enough. I didn't care anymore. You know what I mean? And for them to try to drag me around on my feet it was getting tiring. That's what I told them. I was like, it was getting really, really tiring of them, how they were treating me there. And when you came in, it made shit more difficult. And that's why I got always upset with him. That's what I told him. I was like, that's why I got upset with him, because he was making things more complicated than I needed, because I just didn't care to be there anymore. But I was stuck. You know, I couldn't find a job for a fat minute, right? But anyway, yeah, those two didn't really start trouble. Michael at round one didn't really start trouble. There were a few other people there, but they weren't really like I worked with these people consistently. They weren't like these are people that I worked with regularly. Sorry, I'm restarting that. These are people that, I would work with regularly. I had issues with people at the gym and the arcade, but I wasn't working with them, you know what I mean? So it's not like an everyday thing, you know? The kids club people. I need some water in my system, because I hate that feeling of feeling empty, you know what I mean? And then that heartburn kicks in, and it's just like, ugh. And then I start coughing and my lungs start itching, and it's just like, ugh. But anyway, yeah, those two didn't really look or start trouble. They were just there, you know what I mean? Michael from round one just sucked at his job, which was why I started getting into it with him. But he really wasn't looking for trouble either. Michael Brown, I'll give it to that guy. He was just trying. He wasn't trying to work, but he was just trying to work. He just can't keep up with everybody, you know what I mean? They still have him there, I think. But I don't care anymore. It's not my problem. So then, but yeah, Michael really did not try to start trouble. He just, but then we got into it, and that really put it on the map that I couldn't stand the guy. But yeah, he wasn't really looking for trouble. At ABM, there were issues with people that actually did start trouble. There was Norma, of course. And then that was really it. Norma was really causing the stir for everybody. So Norma actually was looking for trouble. And then Jeannie has also been starting trouble with people. She also just expects everyone to put food on her plate, but she doesn't care to put food on other people's plate. She's the kind of person who wants to sit there and just try to kick her feet up, but she's got to go back and get napkins. You know what I mean? But she won't offer to get food on people's plates. Like, yeah, she's just not very good. Like, she got Kyle in trouble yesterday and blah blah blah, you know, but I'll get to that. But anyway, I think I should end it here so I can just do a part 2 already. But yeah, all the best to the people that I mentioned. Michael, on the other hand, I know that guy probably still hates my guts, and so does Jesse. Obviously, Jesse, that guy mean mugged the fuck out of me every time at round 1, and I was, because he used to drink there, and I'm just like, dude, you're not scary. Like, stop it, bro. You're not scary, bro. Like, quit it. You know what I mean? Knock it off. You're not scaring anybody. So, and then Michael, man, that guy is always, the last time I talked to him, he tried to apologize to me, and I would not apologize back, because I had nothing, you know, it's good to be the bigger person, but it's just being real. You know what I mean? The guy caused so much trouble and so much stress on me, but again, I give him a benefit because he was mentally he was handicapped. He was handicapped. So, but on the other hand, ABM had Norma, but Norma I wasn't really fighting with. Norma I started fucking. Well, Michael I started fucking with him too, but Norma I started to fuck with a lot as well when I was there. But yeah, instead of getting into it with people and trying to say what's what, I just start fucking with people, which is a nasty little habit to start, because I used to do that all the time, But Jeannie has pushed me to that point to where now I'm just fucking messing with her with everything, and I don't, it's just like, ugh, you know what I mean? So yesterday, or I'll do a part 2. Actually, I'll talk about it.